We got a top 20 matchup in the Pac-12. David Woods of Bruins Report Online and Angie Machado of BeaverBlitz.com here to break down UCLA at Oregon State. It's the first meeting between these teams as ranked opponents since 2001. UCLA finally snapped a 3-game losing streak to top 25 teams last week against Washington State. Meanwhile, Oregon State trying to keep its home streak alive, 7 straight wins in Corvallis. Let's get into the breakdown here, starting with DJ Uiagalelei coming off his best game of the season. 5 touchdowns against Cal, tied his career high. But he now faces a UCLA defense that ranks 8th in the nation in scoring. So, Angie, how do you see this matchup going for DJU?
This is such a huge matchup for DJU and the entire Beaver offense. If Oregon State is able to, run the ball and, control the line of scrimmage like they did against Utah, it could go really well for Oregon State. I think the crowd is going to play a huge role in this as well. Look for a sold-out Research Stadium. It is homecoming and family weekend. So just like that Utah game, I think the atmosphere is going to be off the charts. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy. But DJU needs to just work on those short passing yards, chunk plays, and hopefully get Silas Bolden and Anthony Gould in the mix.
For UCLA, this is going to be a huge challenge for the defense. This UCLA defense is far different than what it was last year. It's a much more sound unit on both ends, against the pass, against the run. New defensive coordinator Danton Lynn has done a great job getting a pass rush. UCLA ranks extremely high in pressure rate this year. They're top 10. And then in terms of rush defense, it's a top 25 rush defense. This will be the biggest challenge, though, yet for UCLA this year. They just faced a very pass-happy Washington State attack. This is going to be the most balanced offense that UCLA's defense has had to contend with this year. So it's going to be a unique challenge, and it will test Danton Lynn and this new defensive staff even more than Washington State last week.
Yeah, UCLA has held all 5 of its opponents this season to 17 or fewer points. The first time it's done that in over 20 years. Now we'll go from a 5th-year quarterback to a 5-star true freshman, Dante Moore, still trying to find his footing in this next level of football in his career. He's thrown 3 interceptions in his last 2 games, including 2 first-half pick sixes. David, how do you expect him to handle the pressure of playing on the road again?
That's going to be the huge unknown here, and it's the one that is probably most significant for UCLA's chances in this game. Dante Moore has done a lot of really good things this year. He's been really accurate throwing downfield. His deep passes have been excellent, but just managing the game, making sure he's not making huge mistakes, that's been the challenge the last 2 weeks. It's been a different challenge now that he's in Pac-12 play, where these teams know each other, they know each other's personnel, they know how to game plan against each other. And this is going to, again, be one of the toughest tests for UCLA's offense so far. Oregon State's defense is very good. They're going to present a lot of confusing looks for Moore, and he's going to have to respond. And that's the unknown. I think it's the unknown for the staff. It's the unknown for everyone involved.
Yeah, from an Oregon State defensive standpoint, Trent Bray is going to need to dial up some pressure early. Try to get to and rattle Dante Moore as quickly as possible. He's on the road. It's going to be a loud, crazy environment. Try to pressure him and making some bad decisions. Oregon State is still unknown whether they'll be with if Jaden Robinson will be back and Ryan Cooper Jr., 2 of the Beavers starting cornerbacks who sat last week versus Cal. They just weren't quite ready to go. That's going to be huge. Oregon State's going to need to have those guys ready. But I think the pressure aspect in the front 7 in Oregon State's defense, trying to disguise some blitzes, try to get to him early and rattle him, will be a really important part of this game.
Now, winning the battle in the trenches, you could say, is the key to most football games. But, Angie, why is it particularly important in this one?
Yeah, Oregon State's strength of the offense really is the offensive line. Just a huge veteran group that has done such a good job, both pass protection and in run blocking. This is going to be key, though, when you look at UCLA. I haven't seen a UCLA defense this strong in years. Trying to block Latu, trying to protect DJU to make good decisions, but also opening up those run lanes for Damian Martinez and Deshaun Fenwick. It's going to be huge to protect him or to protect DJU. But I think that is really the key of the game. This is a really solid UCLA front 7, probably one of the better ones we've seen all season for Oregon State. And Oregon State's going to need to be on their A game here in the offensive line and have the game of their lives.
And when we talk about strength on strength a lot in game previews, it kind of is relative. No, in this instance, Oregon State's offensive line is an elite strength, and UCLA's front seven is an elite strength. And this is going to be an extremely fun matchup to watch. Who wins one-on-ones? Who can confuse the other team? It's going to be extremely fun. On the other side, UCLA's offensive line has had some issues with blitz pickup in the last couple of weeks. The left side of the line is not particularly strong with a tandem of left tackles in Bruno Fina and Kadir Kunta, an Old Dominion transfer. Oregon State's base pass rush could get home, and that could really be the tale of this game, because I expect the front seven of UCLA and the offensive line for Oregon State to kind of stand up each other and win some, lose some, but the other side could be a little bit more advantage Oregon State.
Yeah, Beavers have allowed just 6 sacks on the season. That's good for top 20 in the nation. All right, let's talk about difference makers in this game. David, who is your player to watch?
Tight end Carson Ryan has really exploded on the scene this year. He was hurt for much of last year, but this year he has been kind of there when we need to connect on a pass. Who do we throw it to in a critical spot? He's got great hands, great concentration, and he's got a real want to. Against Utah, they absolutely needed a 4th and 27 conversion, and he went scramble drill with Dante Moore and just ripped the ball away from a Utah defender. They're going to need plays like that against Oregon State. This is not a gimme defense. You're going to have to go out and make plays, and somebody with Ryan's makeup and his desire is going to be essential for that.
You know, Oregon State is really going to rely on that passing game and looking for the tight end, Silas Bolden. But I actually think Josiah Irish is one to watch on this one. Just as the Beavers are looking to get that pass game going, all eyes will be on Anthony Gould, Silas Bolden. But Jack Velling and Josiah Irish are the two to watch. We saw Velling, the tight end, break out for 3 touchdowns against Cal. Big body, where the other guys are a little smaller. But Josiah Irish, Jack Velling, 2 players to watch this week.
All right, Angie and David, thanks so much. And for more on the game, be sure to check out Bruin Report online and BeaverBlitz.com. They are keeping you up to date on all UCLA and Oregon State football and recruiting news all season long.